You're welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me today on this great Monday. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this pod. We are also on all audio platforms, all the major ones, SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. Like I said, I'm glad we here on this good Monday. It is still a scorch out here. We officially are in summer, but it's felt like summer for about a month and a half now. So we almost about to hit into July, man. So we gonna go ahead and get right into this thing, man. I'm ready. It's money to be made, man. It's money to be made. So first off, man, we got Pusha T versus Travis Scott. Now let me start off by saying just saying Pusha T versus Travis Scott is crazy. It's insane. I would never think that through rap history I would have issues between Pusha T and Travis Scott. That's wild. But Clips, as you know, they have an album coming out called Let God Sort 'Em Out, and Clips has been rolling out singles in anticipation of this album. Last week they rolled out a new record called So Be It. That dropped on Tuesday. And at first, everybody thought that Pusha T was talking about Travis Scott. I mean, Kanye West with some of the lines. No, these shots were aimed at Travis Scott. Yes, Travis Scott from Houston. So, and also somebody came out and confirmed that those bars were about Travis Scott, and that person was the guy who did the interview in GQ. So what happened was what I'm about to read was in the same GQ article that I spoke about last episode. They purposely didn't put that portion out to roll it out with the single So Be It. So that's why this didn't release with that GQ article, but this is from the same article as well that you could look up. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. So Push was quick to add that he doesn't hold Travis to any standard because as he sees it, Travis has a pattern of remaining conveniently neutral when it suits him. He's done this a lot. He has no picks. He'll do this with anybody. He did it with Sicko Mode, on which Drake seems to diss Kanye despite Travis's close ties to him. Push then referenced last spring when Travis joined Future and Metro on stage and excitedly asked him to tease like that. The song whose incendiary Kendrick Lamar verse ignited Kendrick's beef with Drake. He was on the Rolling Loud stage like, play that, play that. He don't have no picks, no loyalty to nobody. He'll jump around whenever he feels is hot or cling on to whatever he feels is hot. But you can play those games with those people. We're not in your mix. Keep your mix over there. Let me read the next one. It's the latter part that aggravated Pusha enough to point of taking his issue to wax. I personally have been removed from the crew and those people for a minute. Push said in reference to larger Kanye Good Music extended orbit. So that's where my issue comes in. Like, dog, don't even come over here with that. Because at the end of the day, I don't play how y'all play. To me, that really was just like, he's a whore. He's a whore. Print can't do justice to the disdain and Push's delivery here. Yeah, man. And again, he spoke about it also with Ebro on his show and somebody else as well. I can't remember. But yeah, this is very telling. And all I can say is Pusha T has a valid point. Pusha T has a valid point in how Travis Scott has moved. We can sit up here and say Travis Scott is well within his rights to do whatever he do. And he does. He has every right to do what he want to do. But when it comes to when you have relationships, and we all know that at the end of the day, Pusha T is going to ride for Pharrell. This is not something new. This is a childhood friend that he's known. He was on the rise with them when Clips first came out. He's going to ride for Pharrell. So if he see you moving funny with his dog, he's going to point it out. He's always been that way. And Travis Scott has to be mindful that, dog, regardless of who you work with in this industry, if you get records and an artist is featuring on that record, this is somebody that you deem to have a close relationship with, you got to reevaluate that, dog. Because then you're going to come across shit like this. Pusha T is really the first one to just acknowledge it. But Drake did kind of mention that on Push-Up's diss record last year when he was talking about that Rolling Loud stage shit. That same type of behavior. Like, when it comes to dissing, I feel like there needs to be a line that cannot be crossed as far as those type of relationships. It's nothing to tell the artist, hey, bro, I understand you might have a back and forth with such and such, but hey, change that verse up for me a little bit. Or don't put the verse on there if you so-called have such a close, tight-knit relationship with somebody. That shit just don't work that way. Because Pusha T not going to go for it. He's not going to go for it. And he held back nothing on Travis Scott. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is just another attempt for Pusha T to roll out. And listen, I'm not rolling with that. Almost Dry dropped 2 years ago, and there was no type of distance subliminal thrown at nobody. This is just how he giving up. And at the end of the day, that's his prerogative. If that's what he want to do, he's allowed to do that. He don't got to subscribe to no rules about, coming out, oh, I got to do this. And saying that Pusha T has to diss in order to sell is so disingenuous. It's so disingenuous. This motherfucker has been around since 1999. Clips and solo. In 2025, Pusha T doesn't have to do any type of antics to garner sales, and he don't care about sales. He's never cared about sales. He's the type of rapper who's been consistently rapping for damn near 25, almost going on 30 years. He don't got to do that. That's never been his forte. He just always going to say how it is. So the bars that he said in the record, because of course I can't play it because my shit going to get flagged. Cried in front of me, Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. Her Utopia had moved right up the street and her lip gloss was popping. She ain't need you to eat. Yeah, this. And I anticipate some more subs. I anticipate some more disses, whether it be a verse, maybe a full song. But I do anticipate Pusha. This seems like to be some. Like I said, last time we heard from Pusha was 2022. That wasn't 2 years ago. That was 3 years ago. So there's been probably a lot of slick talking that he caught, a lot of funny moving parts around the industry that he done pointed out that he's gonna address on this album. But I want to I want to talk about So Be It, the record, because the record is fire. And Pharrell got busy on that. I'm not sure if that was Pharrell. But I have to double check. But if it was Pharrell, man, he's been killing. Yes, it was Pharrell. It was. He's been killing these beats so far from what I heard. So Be It, and what's the other? I can't think of the other record right now, but the beat is amazing. Malice did another great job on the. And shout out to Malice too for getting these verses off and not really cursing. He seems to be sticking with his, because everybody, if you don't know, Malice had left rap for a period of time, to further his practices with Christianity, and I want to salute that. But for him to still have that skill set to where he's not cursing in these verses, that's not easy. It's not easy. Your vocabulary definitely has to be extended when it comes to being an elite rapper. And when I say extended, I'm not just talking about saying words that niggas ain't heard of. No, it's all about how you deliver it, package it together, and make it make sense. And Malice has been very elite in doing that. So I definitely want to give him his props in that. But this record overall is fire. The video is amazing too. The video is amazing. But I mean, Travis Scott. I don't even want Travis Scott to respond to this, to be honest. It's not going to be something that's going to be enjoyable. He's not going to come out on the winning end of it. I see a lot of people saying that this is bait to kind of be like some Night Like Us shit. Hey, man, listen. I'm not rolling with that. But if Travis does choose to respond, you take what come with that. So at that point, it don't matter. If you choose to step your ass out on that ledge, be prepared what comes with that, because we all know Pusha T is lethal. He don't have no picks. So if you're trying to come at him lyrically, he's going to be somebody who's well prepared and well calculated. We know that to be true. We know that to be true. So Travis Scott, he better tread lightly. I don't think it's going to be something that he should do. I think he should honestly just take it on the chin. Maybe it should be a learning lesson for Travis Scott as well. I don't think there's nothing wrong with sometimes just taking your punch on the chin and being like, hey, bro, you got that one up. Maybe he should sit back and really evaluate how he is moving around. Because I see people saying that, oh, well, when he played Meltdown, the Drake verse wasn't out. It don't matter. You still know. To me, that make it worse if the Drake verse wasn't on Meltdown, because not only are you playing it in front of Pharrell, and then you still allow Drake to put that verse on the record after the fact. So it don't matter, because people trying to say, oh, push a liar, the Drake verse wasn't even on. It don't matter. We still heard it after the fact, and you dissing my man, and you came up here all happy, doing your dance and all kind of stuff. That's what Pusha also said too. He's dumbing around doing his monkey dance and all kind of shit. Like he really let off on Travis Scott, dog. But It was he wasn't going. He wasn't going. And you can't be mad at somebody who has that relationship past the music industry to defend their dog. That's how Pusha T has always given it up, and he will always give it up like that. So people can't be disingenuous when having this conversation in terms of where Pusha T stands on this, because if you're in Pusha T's position, you 100% understand where he's coming from. And Travis Scott has moved like that. You can't be doing that. There's no you are 100% allowed to work with whoever you want to work with in this industry. But when we talking about you putting together records and allowing niggas to diss people that you deem close with, the line has to be drawn there, dog. Like, no, we can't allow that. We cannot allow that, dog. You coming over here, you interrupted our session for one. You play this record, we ain't really feeling it like that. Then you go add a verse where he dissing the dude that you want to get approval from the record from. You're basically getting Pharrell's stamp of approval because, like you said, he came up there. He's like, oh, everybody's in here. You know, he's doing his monkey dance and all this other stuff. And then he don't play Drake verse. So from Pusha's perspective, he probably was looking at it like, oh, you're going to play this song, but you going to stop it right there at the Drake verse. Like, you know what you're doing, dog. You know what you're doing, and we don't got time of playing no games. So I 100% agree with Push on that. And anybody who has a difference of opinion on that, come on, bro. But the fact that Pusha T called him a whore, he hates that nigga. When another grown man calls another grown man a whore, there's real hate there. That's a real disdain. That's a real disdain. I think, again, with Push, I think he's just fed up with a lot of shit, and I think we're gonna hear a lot of this on this album. I don't think it'll be the bulk of it, but so what? It's over fire beats anyway. Who gives a fuck? That really is my thing. He don't gotta go by no standard in terms of how he's supposed to roll out an album. There's no rules for that. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And that's what Pusha T is gonna continue to do. So I'm gonna continue to enjoy these records that come out. I mean, and again, the album comes up, I believe, July 11th. Oh, well, shout out to BBC too. They had a shirt that dropped for Let God Sort Them Out. I actually ordered one of those shirts. That shit is fire. So salute to them. I mean, the clips have been, in my opinion, they've been doing a great job as far as marketing this album. You dropping a record probably every other week or every week, like a month and a half before the album comes out. It's perfect timing, especially in 2025, because you gotta keep people engaged. This is not way back then when 3-4 months prior. You dropped a single and the album coming out July 5th and all this other stuff. I remember when Country Grammar first came out, that video came out in April. The album came out in June. You know what I'm saying? So you got to set yourself up. But with now, I think you do got to kind of condense that time frame, because people, like I said, we live in a microwave era, and the music video is fire, but they also rolled out the music video with the single in that time frame. It wasn't like the song and the music video came out a few months ago, because I think a lot of people kind of would have been off it. I think now if you're starting to roll out an album, if you give yourself like a month and a half, 2 months prior before releasing something, you're doing yourself a great service. So again, shout out to Pusha T, shout out to Clips. Like I said, So Beat is a fire record. I can't wait to hear what else comes from it. We damn near 2-3 weeks away from that album coming out anyway. So I'm definitely ready. As far as Travis Scott, I really think he needs to take this on the chin. Don't respond. Don't get your ass in no booth, because I think what will come behind that, you can't recover from. And I think it will have to be for Travis. Bars ain't going to save you. And then if it goes beyond bars, we all know, I don't even think he really wanted to go there either. Now, I did see Bun B. He was on somebody's podcast. I think it was Shannon Sharp, and he was saying, Travis from Houston, he ain't going to back down. Hey, cool. I'm not here to say what a man should do. This is just my suggestion. Because when it comes to rapping ability, it's night and day. Travis, he don't rap. And like Pusha T say, like, you in rapper shit. Like, you're not a rapper. Stay out of rapper shit. And I 100% feel him on that. That's like, if you, even as a kid, you might have been having a conversation with somebody, things getting heated or whatever the case may be. Then here come this other nigga over here instigating shit. Nigga, mind your business. You don't do shit like this. And you over here, you playing both sides and you instigating feuds. Stay your ass over there. Because now if I get on you, then now I'm the bad guy. Pusha T is not the bad guy in this situation. Travis really has to be held accountable for the shit that he be doing. And this has been a theme. This is not something that Pusha T is just the first one to put it on the record and it just be this. Okay, we highlighting this, but people have definitely said this was like, hey, bro, like, what is this nigga Travis doing? Like, this nigga for real right now? You got this nigga Drake on your record. This is Kanye. Kanye's your mentor. He producing this. Then you get Drake on another record. You know, this is Pharrell. Then on top of that, you get on the Rolling Loud stage. Oh, play that one. Play that one. Nigga, Kendrick Lamar's dissing Drake. You cool with Drake? Like, what are you doing? He needs to pick a side. You can't be, when it comes to disses, you can't be doing shit like that. Anybody is allowed to feature and work with anybody in music. That is not the discussion. When you start when you start letting people diss people that you deem to be cool with, nah, dog, you either gotta change this verse, I gotta take it off. No disrespect, I love what you do, but we can't do this, bro. Because I would look funny in the light if I allow you to do that. Do that on your own record, or please try to switch up the verse. But if you can't switch up this verse, I'm gonna have to take it off. No hard feelings. And it can be cool. And you just have to carry it that way with everybody, because everybody know when you start dissing, shit, the waters get muddy. People start moving funny, they start acting funny. You can become collateral damage behind all that shit. Like Pusha T displayed. So I'm definitely interested to see what else we have come from that, man. So next up, man, we had a wild week as far as allegations and stuff that's going on. So first on the docket, we got Tyler Perry, man. Tyler Perry is being sued for $260 million, man, by Derek Dixon, the Oval actor accusing Tyler Perry of sexual assault and $250 million bomb. Let me see. Excuse me, y'all, my bad. The Oval actor accusing Tyler Perry of sexual assault and $260 million bombshell lawsuit. Tyler Perry was accused of sexual assault and sexual harassment by actor Derek Dixon, who was suing the Oval series writer, creator, and director for a whopping $260 million over sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation. Derek Dixon is an actor who appeared as Dale in dozens of episodes of BET's hit political drama The Oval. Prior to that, his character appeared in the show's spinoff Ruthless. In court docs obtained by Page 6, Dixon claimed the duo met while working on a Tyler Perry studio event in Atlanta in 2019, with Perry allegedly picking the aspiring actor out the crowd. Dixon claimed he was given a role at the event that required frequent conversation with Tyler Perry. Dixon is suing the billionaire producer for alleged sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation in a lawsuit filed June 13, 2025 in Los Angeles. According to the documents obtained by Page 6, the actor accused Perry of fostering a coercive, sexually explicit dynamic as they worked together on both Ruthless and The Oval. Dixon further alleged that the producer initially promised Dixon career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. He alleged that Perry's first sexual advances towards him occurred at the producer's Atlanta home in January 2020. In the complaint, Dixon said after drinking too much, he retired to a guest room. Oh, he retired to a guest room at Perry's estate, where he claimed Perry got into bed with him and touched his thighs as Dixon rejected his advances. Now, they have this text message screenshot. I'm going to read this. What is going on? What's going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that yet in therapy? Yes, it's the exact same time a car, Geometro, the reply. Giving them my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, that's cool. Where you come from? Unfortunately, Derek, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's so sad. You can have freedom, religious guilt, and still believe in Christ. Dixon claimed that before and after being hired on the Oval, Perry sent him sexual messages. So Tyler Perry, this is Tyler Perry in the text message. Why did that photo make me jealous? You two together? Haha, I don't know. It's just Brad, LOL. Tyler Perry, LOL. Now, this is very important. Tyler Perry responding with that lowercase LOL. When people respond with that lowercase LOL, them niggas not laughing for real. I've always said that. LOL has lost its real meaning. Tyler Perry responded with the lowercase LOL with the period. That's very important here. Very important. He just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in, and now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself. Thick Derek, get that Chipotle. Come on, bro. After being hired on the Oval, Perry allegedly continued to send sexual messages to the actor, including asking Dixon his sexual preferences and allegedly nothing that he has sex with men. Dixon further alleged in his complaint that he again visited Perry in 2020, fearing that the producer would eliminate his role on the show if he didn't. Dixon claimed in a lawsuit during the alleged encounter, Perry grabbed him by the throat, saying, "Wow, look how excited you just got." Dixon, who stated he attempted to de-escalate the sexually charged situation, feared he would lose his role if he complained about the incidents. So let me read this other text. I'm not going to read all of this, but these are just some to back up these alleged claims. This is Tyler Perry. Treat myself right. What are you doing? Derek, he texts Derek in full caps. Just talking to my sister. Eye roll. Fine. Good night. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book and be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them. Derek replies, trying to get off so I can go to sleep. LOL. Tyler Perry, I understand. LOL. LOL, apparently you're not the only one that's been drinking tonight. Tyler Perry replied, I just started. Dixon immediately understood that his job security depended on his relationship with Perry, the complaint reads. From this point on, Dixon worked with the constant fear of losing his job if he did not engage and endure Perry's sexual harassment. Dixon seeks $260 million in a complaint for quid pro quo workplace sexual harassment, sexual assault and battery. All I'm gonna say is this so far, because this is long and you could go look it up, so I'm not gonna read all of it just for time's sake. After reading what I seen, and then Tyler Perry posted a reply on Instagram. He, was smiling, talking about everybody relax and all this other. I think he had some song playing in the background. In my opinion, there is some guilt on Tyler Perry for this. A lot of this is telling. And we do know this is a common theme in the industry. I remember a few years ago, there was another guy. He didn't say Tyler Perry's name. He was a black actor. I can't remember his name. He accused of this big time film executive, mogul, basically sexually harassing him, sexual assault. Again, I don't think Tyler Perry's name ever came up, but all eyes pointed to Tyler Perry. There was no lawsuit filed, none of that. It just kind of went away. So when this came up, everybody referenced that again. My whole thing is this: where there's smoke, there's fire. And I subscribe to that with this Tyler Perry situation. Now, I'm not saying Tyler Perry is 100% guilty. There could have been some, what's the word I'm looking for? Consensual acts between these two. Could have been. But we all know just because you consent to something one time doesn't mean that somebody consents to something all the time. We all know that. Especially when you start coercing people, using your power, again, because we all know people fear possibly losing their position and their career behind a lot of opportunities. This is just not in film. This could be on the corporate level. We've seen this happen on the corporate level, just regular 9-to-5 jobs. So that is a real thing when people in higher position use their position of power to coerce people into sexual acts or any type of acts that they want them to do. It don't always got to be sexual. But this Tyler Perry is just a wild dude, bro. And I've always looked at him as kind of sideways just based off of the type of films he makes. And very accomplished, did great things, has employed a lot of people, have given people a lot of careers, and he has a lot of people in the industry who will back him. But in terms of this is very serious shit, man. And this is not even appropriate if this is somebody who works for you. So regardless of the fact, it's still insubordination on his part because you're being sexually explicit with somebody that you work with and who you hire, who they're under you. Nah, and I'm not saying people can't have relationships with people, but you got to set those guidelines in place. So let me see So this is Tyler Perry's response and his lawyers. The lawsuit is ongoing. In a statement to Team I Page 6, Perry's counsel Matthew Boyd called the lawsuit a scam. This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. So, and I always end it by saying this. I hope none of these allegations are true because I don't want to see nobody go through sexual harassment in the workplace, especially in a career field that they love a lot. So hopefully these aren't true, but these are to be taken very serious. And so far, based off what I've seen, there might be some truth to a lot of this. There might be some truth to a lot, just based off the text. The text messages are very telling, bro. Text messages are very, very telling. So at the end of the day, we have there's a lot to be there's a lot more to come from this. We'll see how this plays out. There's not really too much a deep dive because again, this is fresh. But yeah, dog, I don't know. I don't know. And the Tyler Perry is guilty. Like I say about the others, you gotta go because we just don't have no room for that type of shit in our culture in the industry. Period. So next up, we got Fat Joe sued for 20 million. This one was shocking as hell. Fat Joe sued for 20 million by former hype man and explosive complaint alleges rapper engaged in sex acts with minors and coerced him into more than 4,000 sexual acts to maintain his standing. Lawsuit comes after the rapper sued T.A. Dixon in April for slandering him on social media by claiming Fat Joe flew a 16-year-old girl across state lines for sex. So to add more to that, because I know somebody who was close to Fat Joe, and I didn't really know about this back in April. So apparently, the former hype man T.A. Dixon went after Fat Joe for some money that he felt Fat Joe owed him. I guess there was some type of court order or something. They might have had I'm not sure. Basically, long story short, Fat Joe was like, nigga, fuck out of here. This nigga replies by what I just read, going on social media and saying that Fat Joe flew out a 16-year-old girl across state lines. Fat Joe hit him with a lawsuit for defamation. Now you have this a few months later. So let me read this. Fat Joe's former hype man Terrence T.A. Dixon has filed an explosive lawsuit in federal court against the rapper on Thursday. Dixon is alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, engaged in coercive labor exploitation, financial fraud, sexual manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. Dixon adds that the hip-hop star behind such chart toppers as What's Love got rich and famous while he and his associates deliberately suppressed, silenced, and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic, and commercial contributions which were foundational to Fat Joe's professional success and personal brand. He's seeking up to 20 million in damages. Now, this is a 157-page document. I'm not gonna read all that. But yeah, it's definitely something. I did read some of it. Dixon states in his complaint that Fat Joe forced him into I cannot talk today, y'all. My apologies. Into humiliating situations, including sex acts performed under duress and surveillance, accompanied by threats of abandonment in foreign countries if he refused compliance. By his own estimation, Dixon states that in the suit, he was coerced into more than 4,000 sexual acts to maintain his standing with the enterprise. Most shockingly, the suit claims that Dixon personally witnessed Fat Joe engage in sexual relations with children who were 15 and 16 years old. It lists 3 such Jane Does, including a 16-year-old Dominican girl in New York, who in exchange for cash, clothing, and payment of her cell phone bill would perform oral sex and other sexual acts on the rapper. Minor Doe 2 is a Caucasian female and not a United States citizen. Fat Joe began having sexual relations with Minor Doe 2 when she was 15 years old at the concert overseas. Defendant flew Minor Doe 2 to New York City and Miami, Florida on multiple occasions. Due to Minor Doe 2's body being adolescent and not fully formed, defendant paid for her to get a Brazilian butt lift. Minor Doe 2 eventually left defendant and is now married to a professional athlete. The complaint says Minor Doe 3 is a Latina female who met the defendant when she was 15 years old, turning 16. This is yeah, like I said, this is 157 pages, so you can go pull this up. This is on variety.com. When you start naming minors, that's when it becomes, you got to prove this. And especially when it comes to that, because, and I'm not the one who says, I don't believe people are well within their rights to find justice in a form of payment. I will never say how somebody should be able to find their justice. But when it comes to civil suits like this, especially when we're talking about sexual assault with minors, the moment you seen this, you should have alerted the authorities, in my opinion. So this is where I'm a hold T.A. Dixon somewhat accountable. How can you sit back and watch Fat Joe engage in alleged sexual acts of minors, and now you come out years later about it? That's very telling to me. again, if this is true on Fat Joe's end, 100% he needs to be held accountable. But I'm also pointing the finger at you, because how can you sit back and allow that? Now all of a sudden you come years later with this lawsuit seeking damages of 20 million when you saw this man engaging in sexual acts with minors. That's where it looks questionable on my end. So like I said, this is gonna play out. This is very telling. I'm interested to see how this plays out with Fat Joe and this podcast with Jada Kiss, because they do have a podcast that's actually under the volume that's ran by Colin Coward. So I'm interested to see how that rolls out. They just had an episode drop with Jim Jones, which I'm gonna talk about later. But and I probably read about 20 pages of it. Like I said, I can't read all of it just for time's sake, but a lot of it was a hard read. It was a hard read. And I think this is 157. A lot of this is nasty, and I think Fat Joe did come out and say a lot of these claims are basically a shakedown, feeling some type of way because of the defamation suit that he had against him back in April. So this has been a back and forth between him and this hype man for about a few months now, and all I can say is prayers, because allegedly there are victims that are involved in this. So I want to be sensitive in terms of that. But this is kind of looking funny in the light. I'm not gonna lie. I'm here to be honest. I'm not here to fuck around, bullshit, say what's popular. In my opinion, this sounds like this is shaky to me. Just off the simple fact that how can you sit back and watch Fat Joe do this for all these years, but now because y'all have a little back and forth between over a money dispute, you wanna air it out with this being the basis. I don't know about that, especially when minors are involved. That's the key factor here. Minors being involved. We can't play around when it comes to kids. Can't play around. So you got to show proof of this. We talking about 15, 16-year-olds. I need to see hardcore proof before I label somebody a child molester and a pedophile. I don't play around when it comes to those two titles specifically, because that's the worst thing that you can have on your jacket. That's 100% the worst thing you can have on your jacket. And like I said, if it is true, Fat Joe needs to be held accountable like the others. But if not, if this comes out not to be true, there needs to start being some accountability on people who make these false claims and put that, because once somebody has it on their jacket, and even if they get proved innocent, I feel like the damage is so, the fact that you would even associate my name with those type of acts that's just sick. That's just sick, and there's no coming back from shit like that. So hopefully this isn't true. Again, we're gonna have to wait to see how this plays out. But I do think it is kind of funny in the light, and I do kind of feel like this one might be a shakedown. It might be. And like I said, I'm not saying Fat Joe's completely innocent, because at the end of the day, I don't know. I have to see how it plays out. But I do find it funny how you can sit back and watch Fat Joe do this, not say nothing in real time, and now come years later and say, because not like the article said, the 15 to 60-year-olds, they're grown and married now. So what if they had to carry that for all these years and you knew? So in my eyes, you kind of an accomplice in that. I don't know, man. I don't know. So again, we'll have to see how that plays out. So next up, Billboard dropped the top 75 R&B singers of all time, man. All time. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to run through this real quick, because you know me. I love R&B. I did have a few gripes with this. So let me go ahead and run through this for y'all real quick. So at number 75, we got Ruth Brown. 74, Summer Walker. 73, Etta James. 72, Jackie Wilson. 71, Keisha Cole. 70, Her. 69, Bobby Womack. 68, Phyllis Hyman. 67, Tank. 66, Keith Sweat. 65, Tina Marie. 64, Lettucey. 63, Music Soul Child. 62, Anthony Hamilton. 61, Ashanti. 60, Neo. Coming in at 59, Fantasia. 58, Peebo Bryson. 57, Tevin Campbell. 56, Joe. 55, Natalie Cole. 54, Jasmine Sullivan. 53, Jill Scott. 52, Stephanie Mills. 51, Rick James. 50, John Legend. 49, Bobby Brown. 48, Lauryn Hill. 47, Weeknd. 46, Rihanna. 45, D'Angelo. 44, SZA. 43, Dionne Warwick. 42, Barry White. 41, Brandy. 40, Aaliyah. 39, Roberta Flack. 38, Maxwell. 37, Frank Ocean. 36, Tony Braxton. 35, Babyface. 34, Donna Summer. 33, Alicia Keys. 32, Lionel Richie. 31, Anita Baker. 30, Gladys Knight. 39, Diana Ross. 28, Erykah Badu. 27, Shaka Khan. 26, Chris Brown. 25, Patti LaBelle. 24, Bill Withers. 23, Teddy Pendergrass. 22, Luther Vandross. 21, Donny Hathaway. 20, Otis Redding. 19, Smokey Robinson. 18, Al Green. 17, Janet Jackson. 16, Mary J. Blige. 15, Isaac Hayes. 14, Curtis Mayfield. 13, Sam Cooke. Number 12, Usher. And the top 11. Number 11, Ray Charles. Number 10, Marvin Gaye. Number 9, R. Kelly. Number 8, Mariah Carey. Number 7, Prince. Number 6, James Brown. Number 5, Whitney Houston. Number 4, Beyonce. Number 3, Michael Jackson. Number 2, Aretha Franklin. Number 1, Stevie Wonder. So let me go ahead and start out by saying this. I love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has to stop getting put in these R&B conversations. Michael Jackson is not an R&B artist. Michael Jackson is the GOAT when it comes to this music shit. He is not R&B. That man is the king of pop. Michael Jackson is not one of the best R&B artists of all time. And I've seen his name come up in these conversations before. He's simply not. He's not. Michael Jackson is not in these conversations. My personal top 3 would be number 1, R. Kelly. Number 2, Stevie Wonder. Number 3, Mary J. Blige. I had another name in the top 3, but after I sat back and really evaluated, that would be my personal top 3. R. Kelly, Stevie Wonder, Mary J. Blige. That would be my top 3. But as far as this list right here, yeah, come on. How can you have Tank on this list and not have Genuine? To me, in my opinion, Tank, I know a lot of it has to do with his writing. Tank is one of the most overrated R&B artists in my opinion. I don't see how you can have Tank on here and not have Genuine on here. He got more classic work than him in my opinion. Some of these rankings, Dionne Warwick, too low to be at 43. Way too low. Way too low. You got Lauryn Hill at 48. I would have her a little bit higher, but probably due to her work. You got SZA higher than Lauryn Hill, Rick James, and Stephanie Mills. She don't sing better than none of them. Even higher than Tevin Campbell. That's crazy. That's crazy. Insane work. And Raphael Sadiq should have been on this list. Raphael Sadiq 100% should be on this list. Frank Ocean is nowhere near. Frank Ocean got ranked at 37 ahead of Maxwell, Brandy, Aaliyah, Barry White. Knock it off. Y'all do a lot for this nigga, man. Y'all do a lot for this nigga. This man has one classic album. Great album. I still listen to it today. But that nigga is one of the most, if not the most overrated R&B artist of all time, bruh. Do a lot for Frank, man. We do a lot for Frank. We do a lot for Frank. Just some of the notable people that he's above. Like, come on. D'Angelo? No. Rick James held to Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown should be at least top 25. At least top 25. That don't even make no sense to me. That don't even make sense. Chris Brown came in at 26. I ain't really mad at that. Usher came in at 12. I'm not mad at that. Janet Jackson should be a little bit higher. She came in at 17. Mary J. Blige, 16. You already know where I got her at. Teddy Pendergrass, definitely top 10. Teddy P is the reason for a lot of motherfuckers being here. Teddy Pendergrass coming in at 23, kind of crazy. That's kind of insane. And just going through the top 10. Number 10, you had Marvin Gaye. I put Marvin top, probably, maybe top 5. R. Kelly, Mariah Carey, Prince. I'm not even putting Prince in the R&B category for real. I probably wouldn't put Prince in there. Prince is one of the greatest artists of all time, but I probably wouldn't put him up there neither. James Brown came in at 6, Whitney Houston 5. Nobody sings better than Whitney Houston. Nobody sings better than Whitney Houston. Nobody sings better than Whitney Houston, so I'm not mad at her placement. Number 5 is accurate. Beyonce goes without saying. Beyonce is 100% one of the greatest artists ever. She 100% deserves her spot. Michael Jackson 3 again, or Aretha Franklin 2, Stevie Wonder 1. So I'm not mad at number 1. I just don't have. I have a gripe with Michael Jackson being on these R&B conversations. Michael Jackson is not R&B. We got to stop putting Mike up there. I love Mike. R.P. to Mike, one of my favorite artists of all time. But Mike is not. He's not R&B, bro. He's not. We gotta stop. Mike gotta stop getting put in these conversations. So, do you feel or agree? Do you feel they got it wrong? Yeah, they got it wrong. Yeah, again, y'all can check this. Y'all can check this out. They dropped it actually in good play by them because they actually dropped this list on Juneteenth. So shout out to them. But yeah, this was crazy. They know what they was doing with this shit. They know what they was doing. They know what they was doing. These places, Brandy being at 41 is insane. Brandy and Aaliyah being at 41 and 40 is crazy. They both top 25. Alicia Keys is definitely higher. But the fact SZA even entered this list is crazy to me. And Tank. Like, my biggest gripes are Tank and Frank Ocean for real. Them two, when you missing Raphael Sadiq and Genuine, nah, Genuine came out the gates with back-to-back classics in my opinion. You had The Bachelor. Then you had 100% Genuine. Come on, man. Then you already know what he did with the senior. Genuine got some classic work. And he's also one of my favorites, so I might be biased in saying that. But come on, dog. You can't have you can't have him on there and not have Raphael Sadiq and Genuine on there. Those are my two. I know others have some other artists that they felt should have been on here. Neo should have been a little bit higher, for sure. Neo came in at 60. Neo not only has done classic work individually, we all know his pen game. We all know what his pen game is like. And like I said, a lot of it might have been to do the songwriting, because that's probably why I'm seeing some of these names on here. It might be due to songwriting. But that's the case. Neo got to be at least top 30. If we going off that, we all know what type of work he done did. Legend. Weeknd, slightly overrated. Slightly overrated for real. 47, come on, bro. Nah, I can't put him. No. We can't do that. I would even put Weeknd top 75. I know he got a great fan base. He does some great shit, but he don't really give me that true R&B feel. Nah. So again, like I said, my personal top 3 would be R. Kelly, Stevie Wonder, Mary J. Blige. That's who I'm rolling with in terms of this list. But again, hey, Billboard, you did what you could with that list. Next time, hit me up so I can get on the panel and get the rocking it out on that, man. Because y'all, that shit definitely needs some shuffling around, dog. Definitely needs some shuffling around. So we had some new music that came out. We're gonna start out with Cardi B. Cardi B dropped her track Outside, and honestly, it's not a bad track. It's not a bad track. I think it's a track that's gonna go off in the strip clubs. It's actually called Outside, so you may hear this outside. And hopefully, I just hope with the hiatus she has, she keeps the momentum going, and hopefully it comes out turning to be an album. I hope she has an album coming out behind this. Don't be scared to put your music out, Cardi. Like I said, I believe Cardi to have a certain level of talent when it comes to rapping. She can definitely rap, and she can get busy when she chooses to. She just refuses to. So I did listen to this track. It definitely was a good track. I want to salute Cardi for that, but I hope she has an album coming behind it, because that's, at the end of the day, all I really want to hear is the music. But salute to her. I think definitely be a strip club anthem. This definitely sounds like some strip club shit. You probably being on the boat, chilling, rocking out with your girls. You definitely gonna hear this in some clubs. You're definitely gonna hear this in the club. So again, that track is called Outside. Go check that out. Offset dropped a track with Jid called Bodies. That shit is fire. And Cardi and Offset funny. They dropped on the same day. I don't know what y'all got going on, but that's kind of telling. I don't know. That's that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny, but I did notice that. But yeah, Offset dropped a track featuring Jid called Bodies. That shit is fire. Whoever did that beat is amazing. But Offset, he was getting off on that track. I fuck with that record. That record is fire. Hopefully he got an album I think he does have an album that's coming out. So I'm anticipating some other tracks. Hopefully it kind of gives that same feel. And shout out to Jid too. Jid kind of in the beginning of that, like that first half of his verse, he was kind of sounding like 2015, 2017 Young Thug on there. I could be wrong. Y'all could go ahead and listen to yourself and give me your thoughts on that. But he definitely kind of sounded like that 2015 or 2017 Young Thug type of feel, bro. I definitely heard that. But that body track is fire. That body track is definitely fire. Salute to Offset. He continues to put out good music, and that's one thing I give Offset. Outside of all the bullshit that I don't want to care about between him and Cardi, he consistently has put out some good music. He does. He really, even going solo, after the Migos, with the tragic loss of Takeoff, Offset has continued to be consistent as far as putting out some good music. His first solo album was pretty good. So I want to salute the Offset for putting out a dope track, because that Bodies track is fire. I definitely played that a few more times. Definitely. And I want to shout out Wale. Wale had a track called Where to Start, sampling SWV. Fire track. Fire track. Niggas, producers been in their bag lately. I don't know what's in the air. I want it to stay there, because we all know rap has kind of been somewhat up and down over the last couple years, but that track is fire. I want to salute Wale for that. Where to Start, especially off the heels of what he had going on with Casanat, but that record is fire, man. And Wale, honestly, for all the outside bullshit that be going on, that nigga has consistently put out good music too. He has consistently been a good rapper throughout his career, bro. He has. This track with SWV is insane. I don't know who produced it, but that track is fire. So salute to Wale for that. Hopefully he has a few more singles that comes out, and I think he does have an album that's coming out soon. So again, salute to them for doing that. All three of them, Cardi B with Outside, Offset with Bodies, Wale with Where to Start. Check out those tracks, because all three of those are pretty good. So Jim Jones has been making crazy headlines lately, bro. Just last week, unwanted headline with him and the Sierra shit. But now this week, Jim Jones has been on a couple of platforms. First, Jada and Fat Joe's podcast. Now he's on, just was on Shannon Sharp shit, talking about him and Nas. He says, I got more hits than Nas. I'm better than Nas. Everybody knows that I like to troll Nas. Jim Jones, you do not have more hits than Nas. It's not even close. Even if you take away the features, it's not close. It's night and day. Rapping ability, you do not rap better than Nas. This is levels to this shit. Nas, when it comes to that rapping shit, up here. You somewhat down. I'm not saying if y'all was a feature on the track, you wouldn't hold your own. But in terms of y'all two, nah. Nas is one of the greatest rappers this game has ever seen. Arguably a lot of people's GOAT. Arguably a lot of people's top 3. And it's that way for a reason. Classic albums out the gate. Back-to-back classics, honestly. He came out the gates with Illmatic, then came back again where It Was Written. It's night and day when it comes to y'all two in terms of that. And to say that you got more impact than Nas, I can't say that neither. I can't say that you got more impact than Nas. Nas came in 94 and really kicked the door down, and his style of rap kind of birthed that new wave of rappers. Like, it was just different. I'm not saying Jim don't have impact, but to have more impact than Nas, that would be telling a lie, brother. I can't give you that one. That's just insane. So I don't know what Jim has been on lately, but I did catch that, and I was just like, nah, Jim. And I fuck with Jim. Y'all know, and I've sung Jim's praises, but on this one alone, no, sir, you are not fucking with Nas. You're not fucking with that nigga from Queensbridge, bro. I'm sorry. I think Nas did reply to this, or he put up a picture, I think, with some witty caption. I don't think Nas really gonna give that too much burn, but I did see Jim say that. But Jim has always, one thing I'll give Jim is always going to speak up for himself, and I applaud that. I really do, because I'm kind of somewhat the same way. When you come into something you got a passion for and you love it, Jim is very passionate. He says it all the time, and I cry a lot. And you feel like you best, and sometimes you don't feel like you get your props, so you just pop your shit. A lot of times, Jim just be popping his shit, and he's well within his rights to pop his shit, whether you agree or disagree. Now, this one alone, I disagree. Like I said, you not fucking with Nas, brother. But one thing I will give Jim is that, man, he gonna support himself before anybody else does. He's gonna big himself up. He's gonna give himself his own roses, his own props. Like, he's going to do that. So I will salute Jim when it comes to that, because a lot of people don't do that when it comes to themselves. That man is always gonna defend himself, and I gotta salute that, bro. I gotta salute that. But this Jim Jones versus Nas, can't give you that one, brother. Like I said a few weeks ago, I think you could kind of hold your own with Styles P, but nah, definitely did your thing as far as applying to Pusha T with that record on the block. But this Nas shit, no, sir, is levels for a reason. It's levels for a reason. That man is different. That man is different. Shout out to Nas, though. I'm gonna still troll you from here and now, because I'm just a Hove guy, so that's just how it is. But in terms of that back and forth, no, sir, not gonna happen. and I did, and also Jim and Shannon was just about to get into it crazy. Them niggas started talking about, oh, yeah, I'll work you in the gym. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck niggas got going on, bro? That shit was getting crazy. This nigga Shannon Sharp started standing up out his seat, talking about, I'll come to New York. Or you come down, whatever you want to do. I'm like, bro, this shit is crazy, bro. Hopefully that shit just stay at last. You know, Ocho, he always got to instigate some shit. He right in, and it's crazy because it's a 3 split screen. Ocho right in the middle, gassing that shit up. So hopefully, man, that's just some old head type shit, man. Y'all niggas, it would be good for content though. I actually do, because I know Jim stays in the gym. We all know Shannon stays in the gym. So that would be actually some great content. If them two can actually get in the gym and actually put that shit on footage just to see who getting busy, that'd be hilarious. But that shit did turn into like some, I lift more than you. Shannon's like, hold on now. When it come to that rapping, you got that rapping shit. I really do this gym shit. So I'd be interested to see how that plays out, man. So getting into some sports news, man. The Lakers got sold. The Lakers got sold for $10 billion. The highest, I think that's the highest a team has been sold for in history. Yeah, I think Los Angeles Lakers NBA team being sold in a staggering $10 billion deal. The Buss family is in process of officially selling the majority stake of the Los Angeles Lakers for $10 billion after owning teams since 1979. In one of the biggest deals in sports, the owners of the Lakers, the Buss family, have agreed to sell majority ownership to team Mark Walter for a whopping price of $10 billion. The team's primary owner, Jeannie Buss, along with her family, have agreed to keep 50% shares in the team, and Jeannie will continue her role as the governor, a position that guarantees her vote in legal decisions and board meetings. Jeannie has led the team since her father, Jerry Buss' death in 2013, when the franchise was transferred to the family trust. Since Jerry purchased the team in 1979 for $67.5 million, the Lakers have gone to win 11 NBA championship titles. As for Mark, who is chief executive of TWG Global, he's no stranger to the franchise. After all, he's been a team player with minority ownership since 2021. Mark and TWG Global are also owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers and have interest ownership in the Los Angeles Sparks WNBA basketball team, Premier League Chelsea Football Club, the Professional Women's Hockey League, as well as multiple auto racing teams, including Cadillac Formula One. Yeah, that's $10 billion. My nigga, if I ever get $10 billion, you'll never hear from me again. I know that's a cliche saying, but you legit would never hear from me again, bro. First of all, a lot of that's going to get set up in a trust, so my kids will be forever set. And then I'm going to still do my podcast shit, though. That's the craziest thing. So I can't say I'm going to be ghost. I'm lying. I wouldn't go away because I love this shit right here. So I wouldn't go away. I wouldn't be around a lot of circles, but I don't go out now anyway, so it really don't matter. But if I got 10 billion, shit, I'll probably just give me a different setup. But I'm going to still kick that shit to y'all on a weekly basis. I'll be lying to say I'll stop podcasting, bro. I would stop podcasting. $10 million, that's a crazy sign. I'm interested to see how this goes as far as a roster shake up. You know, any roster moves that they got going on, shit like that. But that was a bomb that hit the TL. $10 billion? She gets to keep her position as far as governor on the board. So, hey, man, salute to the Buss family. Salute to Jeannie Buss. I see a lot of Lakers fans, they was happy that she sold the team. I guess a lot of y'all didn't really like how she was handling the team. I guess you can have some gripes with that. But, you know, ultimately, hey, $10 billion, bro. Shit. It's some money out this motherfucker, bro. It's a lot of money in this world, man. I got to see some of this one day, bro. I'm sorry. But hey, you never know, man. But till then, you know that niggas still gonna be here fucking with y'all. But 10 billion? Shit. I might pass out. I ain't gonna lie. $10 billion? Come on, bro. Come on. That's generational times 10 type of money right there. So we have the NBA Finals, and of course, by the time the show airs, the NBA Finals will have been concluded. So either Indiana Pacers or the Thunder will have been NBA champs. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. I'm rolling with the Pacers in Game 7. I try to tell y'all niggas out the gates, the Thunder should not have been heavy favorites in this series. I want to salute Tyrese Halliburton again for going out there and playing on that injured calf. And had somewhat of a good game. I honestly don't know who would get Finals MVP on the Pacers if they won. I kind of feel like Siakam probably would get it because Tyrese has kind of been up and down. And I know he tried to throw in that injury as an excuse as to why he was playing bad. I kind of wasn't feeling that. But I also want to salute him for not ultimately using it as an excuse and getting out there on the floor and playing. But man, they smoked them niggas, man. They smoked them niggas in game 6, bro. And the Pacers have been averaging 8 players in double figures in this series. That's fucking insane, bro. That's like, how do you do some shit like that? Them niggas won the game 6, 108-91. The score was 34-32, and them niggas proceeded to go on a 30-9 run. The Thunder have not been playing like a 68-win team. I said this shit before, bruh. SGA had 21 points, 8 turnovers, bruh. 7-15 from the field shooting. Not enough. Not enough, bruh. Like, it's... SGA, numbers-wise, has looked good, but that don't tell a full story. Like, bruh has kind of somewhat been inconsistent throughout this finals, bruh. I'm not going to hold you. He has been the most consistent, but for his standard, he has kind of somewhat been inconsistent in this series, bruh. Chet Holmgren, enough of this guy, bruh. I don't want to hear no more Chet Holmgren praise. This motherfucker is a 2nd overall pick, and I know it's still early in his career. But y'all niggas was comparing this guy to Wemby. You got it wrong. Okay. Cool. We all have gotten some shit wrong. But that one there has just been agreed. And I also seen a lot of y'all be trying to give him praise. Bro, no. This man had 4 points, 6 rebounds. Come on, bro. Like, this shit is insane, bro. Like Chet is 7'10", my nigga. And of course I'm exaggerating. But this motherfucker is too tall. He damn near Wemby height. He is Wemby's height, actually. But he should not be performing like this. This man has averaged 11 points, 9 rebounds in 6 games in NBA Finals. That's unacceptable. He is not a role guy. He is not a role guy. This man is shooting 35% from the field. He is shooting 11% from 3, bruh. Enough of this. I don't want to hear no more Chet Holmgren praise. That man is an imaginary player, bruh. Hey, Jalen Williams had a great game 5, 40 points. He's somewhat been up and down too. What did he have last game? This man, 27 minutes, 16 points, a -40. Having a -40 plus minus, I'm not big on plus minus, but that's the shit that plus minus basically all the shit that you really don't see on the stat sheet, like hustle plays, turnover, shit like that. This nigga had the highest had the highest negative with a -40. That's insane, bro. That's insane. Like, Jalen Williams, he has to be better because he's a number 2. And I just seen y'all niggas saying that SGA and Jalen Williams was on track to do some Jordan Pippen shit. They ain't ever did no shit like that in no game 6. 8 turnovers for SGA, inexcusable. That's the most turnovers for any player in NBA Finals history. Most turnovers ever. 8 turnovers, 21 points, inexcusable. And now game 7 is really, this is the game where an imaginary role player is going to show up and drop about 20 points, 25 points, might hit 7 threes, might hit 10 of them bitches. It's 0-0 now. In my opinion, home court advantage don't matter in the game 7. It don't matter because there is no tomorrow. Neither team has experience in this moment. So we're going to see how it pans out. I'm rolling with the Pacers. I'm rolling with the Pacers, bro. Logically, I thought that the Pacers, the Thunder would be able to beat these guys probably in 6. But a part of me always felt like the Pacers can win this shit. I should have placed a bet on this shit. Now I'm not a betting man. I should have made a bet on this. Well-balanced scoring from the Pacers. Pascal Siakam, 16 points. Aaron Naismith, 10 points. Andrew Nembhard, 17 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 14. Obi Toppin, 20 off the bench. TJ McConnell, 12 off the bench. TJ McConnell has definitely been like the gritty guy, role guy for the Pacers that, you know, they was giving out a award for a role guy. He will 100% get it. He will 100% get it. He just makes the right plays. He scores where he needs to score at. He gets the turnovers. He has great eyes on the floor for where people are at. The Pacers are gonna beat these niggas. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm rolling with the Pacers, bro. I'm sorry. I'm rolling with the Pacers. And it has been a great NBA Finals. Fuck the ratings. I don't give a fuck what niggas talk about in terms of no ratings. This has been one of the greatest finals we have seen in some years, bro. Went 7 games. some classic moments, classic endings. Of course, you got a few blowouts because that's what happens in some of the finals games. You have some blowouts. But this has been a great finals, man. I don't care what niggas talking about. Great finals. Salute to both teams, but I'm definitely rolling with the Indiana Pacers, man. And one of these teams will get their first championship in franchise history, so that makes it even better. So next up, we are officially at war with Iran, y'all. Literally, this shit just happened last night. Literally just happened last night. Donald Trump released a statement. We had completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in this world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This motherfucker is crazy, man. This motherfucker is crazy, bro. We should not be at war, bro. We shouldn't. We always inserting our shit in something that got nothing to do with us, bro. But what I also have to realize too, even though I don't like this, Israel and USA, they're allies for a reason. The motherfuckers been allies since the 40s. It just is what it is at this point. Motherfuckers is gonna have to accept it. I'm not saying what Israel doing is right. I'm not with that. But this whole shit is unnecessary, bro. We should not be at war at all, bro. But this is where we at with it. I'm anticipating price hikes, of course, with some shit. You know, of course, you know, you do have to be mindful of potentially other countries getting involved, which I don't see happen. And let me say this too, because a lot of people, you're well within your rights to feel however you feel about this. I don't like this neither. But to act like the military, our military would somewhat, I see somebody last night say this. Matter of fact, let me pull this tweet up. Because this was just blasphemy, bro. This don't even make sense. Somebody said America finna get exposed for not being a military superpower. Bro, let me be clear. This is 2025 now. We have information ready at the palm of our hands in 0.5 seconds. All you got to do is do simple research. Also, there's no military on this earth fucking with ours. Again, with me saying that doesn't mean I support what's going on with this war. But again, there is not one military on this earth that is fucking with ours. Nobody spends more money on the military than us. Nobody has shops set up across the earth more than us. Nobody has the technology, advancement when it comes to military personnel that's fucking with ours. So if it was to get to that point, yes, America would have no worries as far as military power. There would be nothing coming from that. So saying we're getting exposed as a superpower is that would just be telling a lie, y'all. We spent $900 billion in military defense, bro. $900 billion. That's way more than, I think the next up is $100 billion with China. I could be wrong, but nobody's fucking with us in terms of the military. If America gets anything right, it's racism and military. Those two things, bro. And then again, people have every right to be upset with what's going on, but you don't got to lie about the military capabilities, bro. But this motherfucker Trump is insane, bro. Insane. We should not be at war again, but had to accept the fact that Israel and USA, they allies. So this is where we're at with it. And who knows how long this shit might go on, man. Who knows, but unnecessary bullshit. Unnecessary bullshit. So that's pretty much everything I got for y'all this week, man. Like I said, it was a wild week. It was a great week, but it was a great week for me personally as well. Continue to knock out them goals. Continue to stay in the gym. Get your lazy ass in the gym. Stay consistent. Eat the right foods. Drink the right fluids. Also, stay consistent in your personal goals. Don't let the little things get to you. Again, I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this pod. I am on SoundCloud. I am on Spotify. I am on Apple. I am also on YouTube. Also, follow me on TikTok. Also, salute to the TikTok supporters, man. I've had some great support on TikTok so far, man. So, salute to y'all, man. So, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.